talagang may credibility crisis siya. Kasi maraming bansa actually ang ngayon nag-iisip na umalis na sa ICC. The more na mawawalan ng member states ang ICC, the more na mawawalan na yan ng credibility, and at the same time, in a matter of time, baka nga ma-dissolve pa yan if wala na talaga, kung isa-isang mag-aalisan ang member states niya. Actually, ang tingin ko nga, Admar at saka at MJ, yung kaso ni former President Duterte, ginagawang trophy ng ICC para lang may masabi siya na, look, mayroon kaming achievement. Look, mayroon kaming tao dito na tinatrial na very popular, not only in the Philippines but even across the world.
Si Russian President Vladimir Putin, hinahabol na yung ICC judges. Anong tingin mo dyan, Prof, kasama na imbestigahan dahil po sa mga issue ng sexual abuse?
Hindi lang ang Russia actually ang may ruling na aarestuhin nila ang ilan or one of those ICC judges, at even I think the United States mayroon silang imposed na sanctions sa iilang ICC judges. Ang implication kasi ganito. Ibig sabihin, ang ICC is losing ground. Ibig sabihin, the ICC is also losing credibility. Kasi, take note, dalawang Russia is a superpower in terms of military, not necessarily in economics, pero you look at two major powers na hinahabol ang ICC judges. So makikita natin na actually, ang ICC is losing its ground, and at the same time, nawawalan na rin siya ng credibility. Kasi kung titignan mo, may isang bagong bansa ang gustong umalis, and I think nag-file na sila ng kanilang petisyon na aalis na sila sa ICC, and that's Venezuela. So ganito ang may credibility crisis kasi talaga ang ICC, not only now but even before. Pero kasi one thing that is na inisyu ang ICC, but actually, Russia is against it. So, syempre, they will do a move against the ICC. On the other hand, ang reason naman ng United States on trying to put sanction ay may kinalaman naman sa investigation ng ICC at sa United States to some extent, and even Israel officials. So, may ganon na laro din ang United States at ng Russia. Pero overall talaga, ang ICC from hindi lang ngayon, even before, may credibility crisis na talaga siya. Kasi ang problema ng ICC, selective justice ang dating niya. Na kapag halimbawa, bansa na medyo mahina, third world, at gusto nilang maging trophy kasi wala silang achievement, kaya nilang, alam mo yun, pilipitin, katulad ng case ni Tatay Digong, ni former President Rodrigo Wang arestuhin. So, in that alone, may credibility crisis talaga ang ICC. Actually, ang tingin ko nga, Admar at saka at MJ, yung kaso ni former President Duterte, ginagawang trophy ng ICC para lang may masabi siya na, look, mayroon kaming achievement. Look, mayroon kaming tao dito na tinatrial na very popular, not only in the Philippines but even across the world. So look, we have something na, it proves na may gamit kami, ay may ginagawa kami, at may silbi kami. So you need to fund us. Kasi ang ICC is an institution na it depends on the funding. I think coming from the member states, and even I think one of the malaking pumupondo dyan before, I am not sure under Trump, I have to double check, I think hindi na pumupondo ang United States sa ICC kasi may mga sanctions na nga. So, ganun yon. Kaya from before and until now, talagang may credibility crisis siya. Kasi maraming bansa actually ang ngayon nag-iisip na umalis na sa ICC. The more na mawawalan ng member states ang ICC, the more na mawawalan na yan ng credibility, and at the same time, in a matter of time, baka nga ma-dissolve pa yan if wala na talaga, kung isa-isang mag-aalisan ang member states niya. Pero one thing that you have to remember, ICC is well supported from the side of the Western Europe. Western Europe, kasi ang Western Europe, liberal democracy yan and they pride themselves na they are the bastion of human rights. Though marami rin silang human rights atrocities na hindi nila naiintindihan na sila din actually, in history, marami silang nagawang human rights violation, pero back up yung ICC na yan ng mga Western European countries, though United States not anymore very happy with ICC. So, ganun yung ano yan eh, ganun yung dynamics dyan. So ako, well, pero at the end of the day, we should not be, ang ano ko lang dyan, caveat ko lang, parang reminder lang sa ating mga kababayan at caveat din, na even though may ganitong sitwasyon ng ICC na, may sanction coming from the United States, may sanction on the part of Russia, we need to remember na at the end of the day, siguro pag wala na talagang pondo yung ICC, saka lang siguro yan guguho at hopefully makalabas si former President Duterte. Pero we still have to fight for Tatay Digong, and we still have to continue the advocacy na sana mapalabas na siya at gawan ng paraan, at kung malegal na paraan ba yan or international campaign na si Tatay Digong ay makalabas ng ICC sa lalong madaling panahon kasi matanda na po siya.
Opo, maraming salamat, Prof. Prof, last topic lang, bago lang natin papasukin si Attorney Harry Roque. Anong tingin nyo dito sa bagong ambassador ng China to the Philippines, si Ambassador Jing Quan, na matagal pala ito nagsilbi sa US? He spent 20 years of his diplomatic career sa US at naging Deputy Chief of Mission ng China sa Washington. So, malalim ito, ma'am, sa US tactics at US operations. At siya ang pinadala dito sa Pilipinas.
Maganda ang tanong mo, MJ, talaga. Maganda ang tanong. Bakit nga ba siya ang pinadala? When in fact, actually, to be very frank, hindi siya masyadong acquainted sa politics ng Pilipinas, I think, but he will learn because he is the new ambassador to China. And on the other hand, ang expertise talaga niyan is US, United States, ang Philippine the dynamics ng United States, both politics-wise and even international relation-wise, and of course US-China relation, kasi matagal nga yan sa United States. So ngayon, pero magaling yan, very seasoned ambassador, very seasoned na diplomat. I think mabait, ang alam ko mabait siya, very kind but very firm. And medyo mas malalim ang experience niyan, and when you talk about diplomatic experience. So ngayon, ang magandang tanong mo, MJ, bakit nga ba ang isang US-China expert at US expert ang pinadala sa Pilipinas at hindi ang isang possible ambassador na mas may orientation sa Pilipinas at mas oriented sa Asia Pacific? Kasi ang United States is North America. It's not part of Asia Pacific actually. So bakit nga ba ganun? Kasi po, ang tingin siguro, ang katotohanan kasi dyan, even it's not just China looking at the Philippines, but even the rest of Asia Pacific and even the rest of the world is looking at the Philippines na we are very much under the influence of the United States. So parang mangyayari dyan, so parang siguro itong China, ang ginawa nila, okay, let's send someone who understands the United States so that he can actually better, probably be more effective in dealing with the current regime in the Philippines under Marcos Jr., which is very much under the influence. And to a greater extent, ang tingin kasi sa atin is parang semi-colonial ng Philippines in modern times. So kaya, siguro sa kanila, strategic-wise, it's good to send someone who understands the United States. It's more like, let's talk directly with the patron of BBM rather than to BBM.
Opo.
You know what? You know what I mean? Parang ganun yung ano niyan ganun yung dating niyan Kasi ako nagtataka talaga. Ako sabi ko noong una, bakit siya ang pinadala Sabi ko, marami namang diplomat siguro sila na very oriented and very and also are experts when you talk about Asia Pacific, and some of them probably are very familiar with the Philippines. Pero bakit ito? So yun yung tapos iniisip ko, ito siguro yun. Yun na-explain ko kanina na,
Opo.
Pilipinas kasi, ang perspective talaga from outside, hindi lang ng China, but really from even other countries, is the Marcos Jr. administration is heavily under the influence of the United States. And there are a lot of manifestations to it. So if you want to deal with the Philippines at this time under BBM, you need to have someone who is good and very an expert about the United States, or US expert, especially politics and their foreign policy. So,
Opo.
ganun ang tingin ko.
Prof, maraming salamat sa inyong oras at panahon. Sa uulitin, mag-ingat sila sa iyo.
Maraming salamat!